Welcome, Thursday night. Here we go. The Logical Hippie Light News Show. You know where you're at and you know why you're here, and I'm glad to have you. Please hit the subscribe button, the like button on the each video so that I know you like the content. Add a comment if you feel like adding a comment. I always appreciate that too. So here we go. Got everything going in the right direction. It takes me a minute to kind of get set up. I had a little bit of a hiccup before I got this started, and I had to reset my live feed. So I'm kind of tech savvy, but I do my best to kind of put it all together and get this information out there as best I can. I wish I had a little bit more juice on the tech part of this thing, like maybe some soundtrack music or I don't know, pictures and things like that. That'd be cool. But anyway, I do have there's a snowstorm going on outside tonight, so it's possible that I'll lose power. Fortunately, I've been blessed so far. It seems like everybody around me is losing power, but so far God has blessed my house, and we're still able to go. But if for some reason this cuts out, you'll know why. It's been a Grateful Dead kind of night with the snowstorm going. I don't know. I was just in the mood. So I came home and went to my Spotify account, which allows me to listen to Grateful Dead concerts and any kind of album I want to listen to. So I happened to put on my Grateful Dead t-shirt. I was just in the mood for it, man. It's just one of those nights. I just got the vibes going. So anyway, the lineup tonight is the prayer as usual. Wayne Dyer and the Tao. I got a good one for you tonight. We're on the 10th verse. CDC numbers worldwide and in the U.S. and a couple things about our society and kind of the direction we're going and where we've been for a long time, really, in the ways that we do things and see things and operate and what we do in our daily lives. And then one last little tidbit at the very end. It'll be give you a little teaser at the very end because I got some pretty cool to talk about down the road here. So anyway, let's start it out. Let's do the prayer, and then we can get this thing started. All right, you ready to go? I am ready to go. So let's do this. Oh man, so take this moment and clear your thoughts. I know last night I kind of misspoke and said, close your thoughts, close your mind. And that's not what I meant. I meant clear your thoughts and open your mind. Put yourself in that place, that good place that you can go to that gives you the good thoughts that you have for yourself, for your family, for the people you love, your friends, and everybody else that's out there that we need to reach, and we need to send love, strength, and courage to right now. It is a very tough thing that we're going through. It is a necessary thing that we're going through. And we will come back out of this on the better side of things. We really will. We're going to recenter as a society, as a culture, as a people. And good things are happening in that way. As hard as things are right now, it's kind of like falling off your bike. You fell off your bike. You scraped yourself up a little bit. It hurts. You put the Band-Aids on. You put the bandages on. And you get back on your bike. And you do it again. You try again. Try not to make the same mistakes. So put yourself in that place and think about all the good things for you. This is what I tell my boys. Send good thoughts to yourself, through your mind. Manifest it. In through the nose. And out through the mouth. We thank you, Lord, for this day. Thank you for all the wonderful things in our life and the blessings that we have. The things that come into our life that teach us lessons on how to grow and in directions that we need to go to and improve. That we understand that you send us these messages so that we can improve our lives and we can become better people for it. To succumb to our strengths instead of our weaknesses. To our love instead of our hate. To our peace and the universe that is within. We thank you for all the blessings that come, and please, please, please send all that love and blessings that we have in our own lives and send it to the other people in the world that are in need of this strength that we have. We can harness this strength within ourselves and we can send it to those that need it. And that's what we are doing. Please do that for us tonight. We pray for your guidance. Amen. God bless my family and God bless your family too. Let's do this. We got this. We've been through a lot. You've been through a lot in your life. This is no different. It's hard. Life is hard. Life knocks you down and you get back up. Right now, we're getting back up. At least we're trying. Don't give up. If you're thinking about giving up, then you need to give me a shout. If you know of somebody that's given up, give them my information, logicalhippie@gmail.com. Light news. They need something uplifting. They need to have somebody to talk to. It's the best way to let some things off your chest and realize that somebody does care, realize that you matter, and realize that somebody else knows that you matter too. Because we do. We all matter. That's what this is all about. Is life is important. Life is precious. Life is special. I wish we could apply that to a lot of things in this world, like abortions. And I'm not going to get political on that because we can have a major, major debate all night about abortions. And you may or may not change my mind, and I may or may not change your mind. And it's not important. I look at the basic of how special and important life is. And that's what we're talking about right now with people dying. People are all up in arms about people dying. Well, what about abortions? If we're talking about people dying, what about abortions? Do they not matter? 40 to 50 million abortions a year? Seems like a lot. Seems like a lot. So anyway, we're not going down that path because I don't go there. I don't need to. I can put out the information and you can decide for yourself what do you think life is about if we're really fighting about life. So let's get to the one sponsor of the day, which you know what it is. It is Kangen water, electrolyzed, ionized, rapid cellular hydration. Super rich in hydrogen and negatively charged, no less, which means to your positively charged cells, this negatively charged water is like instantly absorbed and used, where you're using 85 to 95% of this water almost immediately. And that's what makes it amazing, because you literally, this is what, a little bit over a gallon of water. You can't fit enough avocados in this bag to match the number of antioxidants that you get out of this water. Can't do it. It's not possible. It's 42 avocados to one glass of this water. There's a whole gallon in here. Man. So what are you even drinking? What are you eating? Where do you get your nutrition? I get mine by drinking simple water. It's so incredible. It's good for my body. It provides hand sanitizer. It's like the best thing in the world. I'm glad I've got one. So if you are looking for something that can give you the ultimate reason to be healthy, ultimate reason to be not concerned about a virus or bacteria in your life, where you can use just water, you know where to go. All right, so let's get to Wayne Dyer. We are on the 10th verse. This is called, in the chapter, it's called Living Oneness. I wonder what that means. To me, that means living with the universe, living with the Tao. So let's find out. Carrying body and soul and embracing the one, can you avoid separation? Can you let your body become as supple as a newborn child's? In the opening and shutting of heaven's gate, can you play the feminine part? Can you love your people and govern your domain without self-importance, giving birth and nourishing, having yet not possessing, working yet not taking credit, leading without controlling or dominating. One who heeds this power brings the Tao to this very earth. This is the primal virtue. What is primal virtue? That's such an interesting ending to that, because it's almost like it is our destiny. One who heeds this power brings the Tao to this very earth. This is the primal virtue. And another interesting one is, can you play in the opening and shutting of Heaven's Gate? Can you play the feminine part? Which I find so interesting, because I have my boys all the time, 99% of the time, the divorce. And it's a lot of work. For one, it's a lot of work. But for two, it's a lot of work because for a lot of reasons. But for the purposes of this conversation and this passage, is that I struggled a long time trying to play mom and dad. Like, I want to be dad. I don't want to be mom. I fought that for a long time, and it made my life hard, and it didn't make me regret my life, but I resented my life in a way, because I resented the fact that there wasn't a mom in their life, and I was having to battle and fight and be there for them in a way that was also the feminine version of the mom they need. And that's hard to do. I mean, I'm a guy. I don't have a lot of estrogen in my body. Like, I don't know. I've never been tested, so I shouldn't really say. But I kind of get the feeling like I like women, and, it's not something that, I hide. Like, I'm just not gay. Like, there's nothing against gay people. I'm just not gay. I like women. So because of that, I didn't really correlate or relate myself to the feminine side of things. And it's been a learning experience for me, and it's been a hard lesson. I've had a lot of hard lessons over the years, and that was a very difficult one to try to adjust to help my kids. But my kids needed it in the worst way. They needed me to be that nurturing, nourishing, kind, empathetic, sympathetic, mothering figure in their life, and it's really helped me, and it's helped them at the same time. So it's been a win-win. So I want to go into a little bit what Wayne talks about here, because it's actually really, really awesome what he says. Rather than having judgmental thoughts about those whom you regard as separate or different, view others as an extension of yourself. This will diminish self-importance and unite you with what Lao Tzu calls the primal virtue. Letting go of ego-dominated thoughts lets you sense the oneness that you share with others. Thus, you give yourself the opportunity to feel a part of the all-embracing Tao. Practice inner awareness whenever you feel yourself about to criticize anyone or any group. News reports designed to encourage your sense of separateness or superiority in relation to others can be a perfect time to do this. Find yourself as one of them. So watching the news, don't watch the news with a slanted eye and hate other people because they tell you to hate the other side. It's not about that. I'll get into this a little bit more as we go through this show, because this goes right into what I want to talk about. In situations where you're expected to hate an assumed enemy, stop yourself from these judgments and walk an imaginary mile or two in their shoes. Imagine who they are. Accept them and understand them for who they are, and understand that they don't know what you know, and that's okay. They don't need to know what you know. You know what you know. And that's what makes you unique. That's what makes them unique. Can they learn something? Sure. Can you learn something? Yes. And when you're more open to learning, and you're more open to learning than them, then you are more welcoming to understanding them. Do so with all forms of life, even the plant world. See yourself in everyone and all creations, noting that the Tao, in this simple observation, we are the world. Let go of your identification with your stuff and with your accomplishments. Try instead to enjoy what you do and all that flows into your life simply for the pleasure of doing and observing the flow itself. You literally own nothing and no one. Man does not own man. Man controls man and makes man a slave. But not me, not a Tao-centered person. We see people as free to choose on their own, free men and women, free people, free of mind, body, and soul as is meant to be, not controlled. All that is composed will decompose. All that is yours will leave and become someone else's. You are born and you will die. So step back a bit and allow yourself to be an observer of this world of form. Becoming a detached witness will put you into a state of bliss while loosening your tight grip on all of your possessions. It is in this releasing process that you'll gain the freedom to live out what the Tao is always teaching by example. So good. It's so good. Stop trying to control and you will have all that you need. It is already provided for you. It is already there. No controlling needed. Let others be what they be. They are who they are. They understand what they understand based on what they are willing to understand. The ones who are open-minded are the ones who are most willing to change. Are you willing to change? How open-minded are you? That is the key. To all possibilities, there's endless possibilities, not just a few, not just our one-sided opinion based on a media source that we agree with. You must study the things that make you uncomfortable, appreciate the people that are on the opposite end of your belief system. You can learn something from everyone. So let's do the CDC statistics for the day, for the night, tonight, whatever. You see them tomorrow because that's when my show goes live with you. 95,722 confirmed deaths out of 1,603,719 confirmed cases for a 5.97% death rate. That is up slightly of 0.13% from yesterday. Recoveries are 356,655, which is staying the same at a 3.73 to 1 ratio, which is 78.86%. In the US, we have 16,691 deaths, 468 out of 468,566 confirmed cases for a 3.57% death rate, which is a 0.17 increase from yesterday. 25,928 have recovered, which leaves us with a 1.55 to 1 ratio of recovery to death rate, which is the same as yesterday at 60.79%. However, differing from yesterday there were more deaths by about 700 than recoveries. Today, we are about 1,000 more recoveries than deaths. So this thing seems to be going back and forth depending on who it's with today. So 3,037 recoveries today, which is way above yesterday. Yesterday, we only had 1,217 recoveries. So we've 1,800 more recoveries today than yesterday. And the death rate, oddly, over the last few days, has stayed right around the same. 3 days ago, it was 1,983. Yesterday, it was 1,934. And today, it is 1,903. And actually, each time it's gone down a little bit as far as the deaths. So that's good news. It's always a way to go look at the good side of things. So let's get into the meat of this business. Allowing people to do what they want because they are free people. They are free to do as they wish. We do not control anybody. If you want to control people, control your kids. But before you control them, control yourself. And that's why we shall not judge. Because if we judge, then we shall be judged. Are we doing what is deemed moral, with integrity? Who decides? It's like all these people that are questioning what an essential business is. Somebody said today, grass cutting isn't essential. Why not? Are they going to get the grass sick? Who decides what's essential? Who decides what is good and bad? Man does not decide what is good and bad. God decides what's good and bad. Because people know. People know when they're not doing things that are good, when they're doing things with evil intentions. Taking control of somebody's life is not letting go. That is controlling. And you cannot control somebody unless they're a slave or they're at gunpoint. So when the government starts telling you that you need to report people who are doing things that you don't like, that is a form of control that is extremely familiar from all tyrannical governments in the history of mankind. Germany, Russia, Britain, forever and ever. The government will go to you and say, you need to report people who are not abiding by the law of what we say is the law. And if you see that, that improves your social credit score. If you read Animal Farm, you'll remember that they constantly changed the Constitution. We never said we wouldn't sleep in beds. We said we wouldn't sleep on beds with sheets on them. And the horses and the chickens and the ducks and the goats couldn't remember what it had said yesterday. So they assumed it had always been there. And the pigs were so smart. So when the government starts telling you that you need to fear your neighbor, fear the people beside you, and the media is the mockingbird to this information, you are creating a divided populace that is willing to go into tyranny willingly because they are being told that they should do it because it's bad and against what the government says. When in reality, you should not be fearing your neighbor. You should be fearing the people who are telling you to fear your neighbor. You should fear the people who do not tell you that your body is capable of taking care of itself, who are not telling you to eat healthy, choose fruits, vegetables, and drink water, who are telling you that we must have a vaccination, for that is the solution to our problems. And without it, we cannot get back together as a society. We must stay locked down. And who are these people? They're billionaires. What do they care about you? What do they care if we get back to work? What do they care if we got a mortgage we got to pay, or rent we got to pay, or a car payment, or food on our table? Well, they're going to send you money? $1,200? They're sending you money? No, they ain't coming out of Bill Gates' pocket. Huh. Don't be silly. That's coming out of your children's future. And mine too. and my life and your friends' lives and everybody else that has to pay the debt to this thing. It's not free money. You want to listen to those people who sit in gated communities with armed guards in mansions with multiple houses and cars, and they're telling you how to live and how to breathe and what to eat? Oh, no, they're not telling you what to eat. They're telling you they're going to get you a vaccination instead. They're going to give you more medicine. Yeah, we need more of that. We need more medication because we can't possibly take care of ourselves. No, no. And not only can we take care of ourselves, but your neighbors can't take care of themselves either. And we must let people know. We must let the police know. And the government must know that these people are breaking the law. That is a sound way to run a society, and you will be rewarded with brownie points. Until that hits the fan. For those who report others, remember this and think of this. Because it happened in Nazi Germany where people reported other people. What if you're reporting somebody like an Anne Frank, somebody who's exposing it all, and you're reporting that person because you don't like them or you don't like what they're doing and you don't know what they're doing. You have no idea what they're doing. You don't know what their intentions are. You don't know where they're going. Let's just say your neighbor is in and out of the house all the time, going out in their car, doing whatever. Do you know where they're going? Do you know what their intentions are? Does it matter? What if they're driving off to be in a place that's in the middle of nowhere? What if they lost something and they have to go back and get it? Do you know what's going on? Or are you just going to call the police because you don't like them going in and out of their car? Well, crap, I don't like your haircut. What's the difference? There isn't any, because you're trying to control them. And you're not the one that's trying to control them. You're doing it for the government. Good work. And you're not getting paid. You're like a surveillance system without the surveillance system, and we're already being surveilled more than we even know. More than you would even like to know. You ever go on Google Maps? Yeah, you can zoom in right on your house. Well, you might as well wave. That's what you can see. What do you think they can see? I know they're watching me right now. I know they are. I ain't stupid. You ever say something like, man, I really could use like some nice lawn furniture, and then all of a sudden an advertisement appears on your phone for lawn furniture? No, it's just a coincidence. Hey Siri, are you listening? No. Damn. They just signed the Patriot Act back into place. The CDC is looking for more surveillance. Credit card companies, phone companies, here comes your social credit score. You know what? Let's just put some chips in our arms so we don't have to we can go to a cashless society. Digital currency. Great idea. Don't report people. Don't report them unless you see a friggin' murder. Before you do it, why don't you go have a conversation with them instead of being friggin' afraid of them and assuming the worst because you don't have a clue what they're doing. Go have a conversation. If you don't want to have a conversation, then leave them alone. People need to be free. We are free. This isn't tyranny, though we're living right on the line. It's very Orwellian right now, if you haven't noticed. Why do you think I advocate to get out of it? Because it's insane. And for those who think we're going to go back to the way things were, forget that, man. We are beyond that. We were beyond that from the very beginning. We decided to shut society down. You ain't going to look at the world the same. Now all of a sudden you see bacteria and viruses everywhere. People are covered in germs, food, everything. 30 million people are going to be without jobs. Look out. That is not good. We need to get back on track. What, so we can save a few people? Great, yeah, I'm all for saving people. So which is worse? Which is worse? Have you done the numbers? I just gave you the numbers. 16,691 deaths in this country out of 468,566 confirmed cases. If we lose 100,000 people to death to this C-19, let's just say, we lose 1 million people. How's that compared to 30 million jobless, suicides, and our mental health? Taking our kids out of school, can't go see grandma, can't go to birthday parties, can't go to sporting events, can't live our life because of 3.57% of confirmed cases. And we don't even know who's had it. Damn. Y'all are jumping in the friggin' rowboat and it's got a big old hole in it because the number's got a big old hole in it too. It's sad being lied to, but that's what the devil does. The devil lies. The devil doesn't look like the devil. The devil's psychotic. A psychotic person can be as cheerful as Robin Williams and smile and laugh the whole time that they're hurting you. They laugh at your pain. They love it. It gives them strength. It gives them power. They enjoy watching you suffer. The Joker. Just because they seem sane and they speak in eloquent words, you're being swindled. And I see right through that BS. Because I see spirit. I see free people. I see life. We've taken life for granted. And maybe that's the point. Maybe that's why we got 50 million abortions a year. Because we take life for granted. It's sad. And now all of a sudden we're taking it seriously because 16,000 people have died. 95,000 worldwide. There's still more deaths by the flu. There's still more deaths by people getting hit by a car. By a long shot. You see, society goes through 4 phases. And I think I've mentioned this before, and you can see it in Animal Farm. It starts with revolution. What's revolution for? It's getting away from dictatorship, right? So you've revolution. You have growth. You have complacency. And I felt we were in complacency for a long time in this country. Probably 30 to 40 years, if not longer. And now we're like on the edge of dictatorship. Thank God Hillary didn't get into the office because we would have been in full-blown dictatorship. So we sit on that edge, and that's why it seems like Trump's a dictator, because we're right on that edge, and we needed somebody that had some guts to stand up for this country. And whether or not he's doing what's good for this country is yet to be seen. But he's done better than anyone I've ever seen in the last, God, when? Reagan? Lincoln, it's been a while. But see, we keep facing this evil that is hell-bent on enslaving everybody. And they found a way to do it without doing it at gunpoint. They just give you television instead and technology to suck into it and be distracted and play stupid games on your phone and gamble and look at porn and all these, whatever. There's so much distraction from yourself. We spend so much time doing this that we're not focused on this. And that's what this is why this whole virus thing is great, because we're getting back to this. We've gotten away from this. This is so amazing. This thing is so amazing. God is so amazing. The universe is so amazing. There's 1 billion stars for every grain of sand. That comes from Wayne Dyer, in case you're curious. We could literally be living in a beach. This whole universe could be in a beach. We wouldn't even know it. But it's all perfectly symmetrical and symbiotic and perfect and amazing and magnetic and full of energy. And it can be explained, but it can't be explained. And that is the Tao. The Tao can be defined, but it cannot be defined. You will never scientifically define it, ever. It's not possible. That is the point. And you can connect to it, and you can use it, and you can pray with it for yourself first, for your own salvation, for your own repentance, for your own love, your self-love, and then love your family. As Mother Teresa said, if you want to change the world, go love your family. Love yourself first, and then love your family. Do both. Because that is the secret to life, is love. That is what God is. That's how you're born. You're born with it. You're surrounded by it. And the world makes you cold if you let it. Don't let the world make you cold. Give in to the divine source that you are so undoubtedly connected to. Believe and you will see it. Believe it and you will see it. Not see it if you believe it. It helps to get the messages, but you have to believe it first. So when you're in a satanically driven society, which is where we are, the pendulum is all the way to the far side of the spectrum of all the distractions and temptations and things that are in our life. It keeps us from being centered here. And it has been prophesized in the Bible. I hear about this a lot. Well, the universe, just like the earth has weather and climate changes, ice ages and heat waves. The universe goes through a breathing process too, in and out, where it changes and goes through shifts. And we're in the midst of a paradigm shift. And that paradigm shift in the universe affects us here because we're all connected to it. We don't have a choice. It's our divine purpose. It's our primal virtue, as Lao Tzu says. And to me, it is a biblical prophecy on the third dimension level. And we can talk about that another time, because supposedly there's 8 dimensions. I'm actually not too up to speed on all this stuff, but I have somebody who's actually very exciting. She wants to come in for an interview at some point. So at some point we're going to do a Zoom chat, and she can explain all this stuff, it's fascinating stuff. But on the third dimensional level, the biblical prophecy is true because society goes through its 4 phases. And sometimes it reaches a place where it's a paradigm shift, just a major cataclysmic adjustment. And it's an amazing time to be alive to witness it. We are a part of history that's going to be written about for thousands of years. So what is your impact on something like that? Is it to narc on your neighbor? That's how you want to be remembered? Or are you going to stand up to evil, to Satan, to the life that you thought was real, but was really a lie? It was really just a big lie, a big distraction, because it distracted you from yourself. You know, the perfect example of what our society is like, or one, I mean, there's so many examples, but one of the better examples is the dating world. We're such a divided, our personalities have been divided. So we're just like, we like all these different things, and it's really hard in the dating world to meet somebody who's like on the same wavelength. It's almost impossible, because I'm like an all natural person. I like things that I'd rather no makeup. If you're going to use makeup, at least be organic makeup, all natural stuff, not petroleum based, please. Like, not into materialism and buying things and throwing things away and being wasteful. Being into eating healthy, or at least trying, being open-minded. And it's really hard for not being into video games and television and shows and your phone and all that junk, being into nature, being into gardening, being into caring and loving and compassionate and living a wonderful, simple life. And it's so impossible to find because there's so many people that just love what they love. They've been addicted to the things that they've grown accustomed to. And that world's going to change. It needs to change, because people that are distracted by the things that they have, which you're not supposed to hold on to your possessions because you're going to lose them. You're afraid to lose them. We need that in the worst way. We need to get back to self and being minimalistic and cherishing our neighbors, not reporting them to the state. Don't do that. And I plead with you to think about it. So I'm going to about close on that. The teaser I'm going to leave for you is about this interview that I picked up. And it gives you, I'm going to give you a little bit of homework to do if you so desire. And some of you who are from India are going to know exactly what I'm talking about, which is the legend of Krishna, the Hindu god, the deity. Fascinated with this story because Krishna appears to be a real being that walked amongst us 1500 BC and was highly honored and is highly respected in the Indian Hinduism culture. And I've got somebody that's got some sauce on that. So when that time comes, you'll know it. Something to look forward to. And I'd like to make it happen soon. One more thing while I'm thinking about it is there's a lot of talk about something happening coming up this Easter. Kind of an interesting potential event. I felt it myself that something big is going to happen on Easter. I don't know what it is. I just feel that God is coming. In what form or what facet or what happens, I do not know. I do not I can prophesize it potentially by bringing it up, but I'm not certain if anything will happen. All I know is that I will allow the Tao. So you guys have a great night, great day, because that's when you're going to see this. And send your blessings to your family and love your friends and your family, and give everybody you know the strength and courage that they need. If you can be that strong person in their life, you do that. Because that's what we need in this world. So you all have a great night. Namaste. Peace.